First of all, thank you so much for taking out time on a Saturday morning, and I'm assuming you weekly off as well. So we have gathered together today to discuss a very interesting topic, a highly debated topic, and I'm also very curious to know your opinions about the same. And how can salespeople be trained to do better and better and keep achieving those ever increasing targets? Targets never go down, targets only keep going up. So that's why the topic is sales an art or a science. On one hand, we have observed that companies, organizations, and even institutions keep harping on the impact of training. So when you say there is a training, which means that there is a process to train people and make sure they do better. On the other hand, we see that there are some people who do extremely well in sales, but there are others who lag behind when it comes to achieving targets. So I would love to know your opinion because you have the field, you have been doing sales. So I also come from a background in sales, started my career in sales, handled different kinds of sales, corporate channel sales, distribution, franchisee management, B2C, all different kinds in the last several years. So I totally relate to what you will be talking, and I can also maybe chip in my inputs wherever possible. So before we begin, I would like to hear from each of you about your backgrounds, your locations. You are from all diverse locations. We have from Bihar, Gujarat, Assam, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh. So in fact, Union of India. So representing almost every zone of India. So that brings in diverse perspectives. That was the whole idea of Mradhu trying to get nominations from different parts of India, so that the kind of inputs that you will bring to the table will be very, very diverse and the discussion will be more interesting, right? So let's begin. So let's start with my favorite place, Bihar, Surendrajit Singh, and then we'll move to Guwahati, and then we'll go to the other states.
Great, Sid. Great. It was a good introduction in the morning, and Sid, first of all, I have to thank you, Team Vani, for creating such a wonderful platform where we are gathered together, and the topic is quite debatable. I completely agree with you, and I also like to share my opinion on this topic. Well, if I talk about the sales and art, I would say it's a combination of both, because I must say, if you want to sell a product, if you want to become an artist or expert, you don't sell a product. Actually, you sell emotions, right? Because emotions are very much important, right? And selling is a science, because if you want to sell something, you have to follow a process. You have to start from step one, then step two, step three, then you have to follow the entire procedure and the entire process, right? And most importantly, when you talk about a product, there has to be a benefit, there has to be a knowledge, and there has to be a practical approach. And most importantly, sir, when you talk about science, it is study. It's a proven, it's a practical approach that matters a lot, sir. And if I talk about the science, sir, science, the way you carry yourself, the way you present your presentation to the customer, your body language, everything matters a lot, sir. So it's a combination of both, sir. And we all are working in a sales industry, targeting to achieve the numbers. And most importantly, we have to balance both. The sales, the science and arts, sir. And I like to give you a small example, sir. We all know, Salman Khan and Amir Khan, sir. Okay. Salman Khan is a great actor, sir. He does not follow any route. He is an artist, sir, right? Because the moment he comes in the camera, sir, it goes magic. And we got very good response from the audience, and movie goes in crores, sir. When I talk about Amir Khan looks into all the aspect of, the movie making, sir. He looks all the aspect, and he looks in all the small parts, sir. He does everything, the scientific approach, the creativity, story, music, and everything, sir. But both are good actor, and both are known to perform a good movie, sir. So both are a great actor, and both give a good movies on the blockbuster, sir. So it's entirely up to you, sir. As I mentioned earlier, sir, you have to connect emotions, sir, when you want to sell a product, sir, because emotions are very much important, sir. And most importantly, sir, you also have to understand the psychological of a customer, like what is the customer need. what the customer is going to get the benefits from, and everything you have to prepare in such a way that your customer would love to listen to you, and at the end of the day, sir, you will win the race, sir. So this is my opinion, sir. I would say it's the combination of both, sir. You have to balance both, the science and art if you want to, sell something, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, Surendrajit. I think you made some brilliant points and started the discussion with a bang. So I loved your comparison of Salman Khan and Amir Khan, and also you mentioned that sales is more about when it comes to the science part. There's a process, so there's a defined process step by step that you follow. At the same time, you're also dealing with emotions of people, and there comes the art part of it. So how we balance both matters a lot in defining whether you do your sales numbers or not. Fantastic. So let's move to Guwahati. Krishnendu. I would love to hear from you about when did you first come across the term sales in your life, and why did you decide to take up this career, and something about your background, where you were brought up, and what did you study, and how did you get into all this?
Sir, good morning. Good morning to everyone. Good morning to everyone. Good morning to every colleague, dear colleagues of mine. So, sir, actually, I am basically my name is Krishnendu. Krishnendu Pal. I belongs to Guwahati, Assam. Actually, I am looking after Cipla Zion division based at Guwahati headquarters. Right now, I have 4 team members in my team. So I have started my career from Galfa Laboratories in the year 2014. Then it is around 7 to 8 years I am in pharma right now. So after then 2014 I have joined Galfa. Then I worked for 2 years. Then I left Galfa. I joined Merck Limited. Then I worked there for around 3 years. Then I joined Cipla. Cipla is being a good experience of mine. I have good learning in Cipla, and is being 3 to 3.5 years in Cipla. And as last month only I have completed 1 year as a ABM in Cipla. 1 year 2 months. So it was a great experience. About if I talk about my educational qualifications and all, then I rather say that I have completed my HS and HSLC from Guwahati itself. Then for higher studies like for BCA, I have done my BCA from Kolkata Meghnad Saha Institute of Technology. I have completed my graduation from there. Then I came to Guwahati. Actually, that time, actually I am from a very nuclear family because there is only 2 person in my family, father and my mother. So my father was taking care of my mother. So that time they needed me. So I left I got a job in Wipro that time, but I left the job and I came to Guwahati. Then I was doing some job like in HDFC banks and all, in call centers and all. So that my father is from the same background actually. He is from pharma only. So I thought of joining pharma in the year 2014, and from then now I'm working. So this is all about my education and all about my career experiences. So sir,
Great. So Krishnendu, so it was more of a coincidence. So you had to come back to Guwahati and you had to stay with your family.
yes,
You just came across some positions in pharma, and then the journey has been good for you. Is that right?
yes sir,
So it
yes
was
sir,
not a planned
obviously.
career to get into sales.
No, no, no. Actually, sir, my father was from the same background, so I grew up looking after him, how he was doing. Actually, he's from the same profession. So when he left the profession, he was a ZBM, sir.
Oh.
So now he is not here.
How was your
Uh,
first day when you started sales? The very first day you joined and your boss told you, no, ye jaake becho.
Now, actually, the very first day when I joined, it was sales closing that time.
Wow.
So I joined. I joined in the day of sales closing, the 29th of September. I remember. So I joined. I went to my office, Gulf office.
Mm,
Then they told me that your colleagues are going to like Pan Bazaar for sales closing. You go there and you just observe what they're doing, how they do the sales close. Then I went there and I was little bit confused. I got the statement. I could not understand what is there actually. What is the primary sale and secondary sale along all.
mm.
So it was a bit confusing. But then year after year, I gained some many experiences. So right now I'm working well, sir. So
That's the beauty of induction in sales jobs. In other functional areas, you are made to sit and watch PPTs and go through training programs. But in sales, they do with somebody else. जाके देख के आओ कैसे होता है.
So it was my first day. So, sir, actually, I would like to love to say that Bunny is a very sir, good platform, sir. Actually, I was a bit excited about this session. So that day, the other day, I was talking to Midhu ma'am. That I was talking that the session I am interesting about the session and I'm looking forward for it. So the topic is also, sir, very good, sir. Actually, I've selected when I get the topic, I thought that then this topic is very good to debate. Actually, there are many talking points about this topic. If I say, sir, that if sales is an art or science, then I would rather say that it is not an either or answer. Actually, it is both. Sales is an art and sales is a science also. I would rather agree with Mr. Surendraji that. Like he explained, the sales is an art or science. So if I say the sales is an art, then I would rather say that like I would compare with an artist. Like if I take an example of an artist, he is very much passionate, he is very much creative, and he knows what to create. He brings to the world something new by his art that which is not there before. Actually, he start from a blank paper, then he draw his thoughts in the paper and shows to the world that what creativity is. So like say in the same way, the salesperson also need to be very creative, very passionate what he's doing actually, about his job role, so that he can connect to the customers. He can connect to the customers, he can convince the customers, he can understand the needs of the customer. So other than that, a salesperson is very need to be very understanding about his job profile. Otherwise, he cannot sell. So sales is basically an art, I believe. But if I say about sales is science, then I would rather say the science is a methodical process actually. Like if I take my example, then I was from science background. So in my HS, there was I the subjects were physics, chemistry, and mathematics. So if I talk about physics, there are theorems, there are some which need to be solved by mathematical process. So the method, the process actually sales is also a process. If I compare physics with sales, science with sales, then I say the sales is also a process. Like I have to understand the customer. I have to select the first of all. I have to understand what the right customers are, whom we have to approach.
Sure.
Otherwise, if I don't select the right customers, then we cannot sell the product. If I select the right customers, if we approach them, if we understand what the need is, like doctors, we are visiting doctors day by day. So what we have to understand for the right product for the right customers, so that we can sell, so the products get established, so that doctor prescribe the products. So in the same way, so it is a process. The step by step we have to go. So sales is also a science, because science can be solved by process only, and sales is also a science because sales is also go in a process, in a
Thank
particular process. So in that way, if I say, then sales is in science, but if in creativity, and if if like every creative way you can sell the product, then it is a art. Sales is an art and sales is in science both, sir, I believe.
thank you, Krishnendu. So let's now move to Gujarat and let's talk about money in Gujarat. So the right topic, right question. I would like to know why are incentives offered only to salespeople? Why is it not offered to everybody else? Bonuses, extra incentives, commissions.
So it's for motivation, sir. Actually,
No, that question is for Gujarat. Ankit, it's for Ankit.
Yes, sir. Yes. Sir, basically, it's a incentives and bonuses is only motivates the people. It is only for motivations only. And yes, is a Gujarat part. You can see the everybody wants to achieve more and more. They wants to earn more and more making money. So it's a basically it's a motivation. So it is a good that we can we can say that this kind of incentive, and we can motivate the people by themselves. So there will be no need to push up very hard to peoples, that they will be more passionate and more aggressive when we offer the motive like these kind of motivations like incentives, bonus, and that's all. So it's
But
a
but this is injustice, right? Even the HR, the admin, and finance, everyone should get incentives. They should also feel motivated. Why only salespeople? What's the reason behind it, according to you, Ankit?
uh,
Are salespeople the only deserving people? Anybody else would like to answer this? Anyone? Pradeep, Argobind, you can add on.
Definitely, sir. I would like to give my views on this, sir. Actually, these sales incentive are given to salespeople because the company wants to have the end results in a systematic manner. When we look at the sales incentive, there are different parts included in the sales incentives. They have given time limits, they have given product differentiations, like they have given portfolios and how you have to perform, in which manner you have to perform. And there is a result, end result also, the total sales also included in that. And also they ensure the basic working norms which are to be followed by the people of people working in the sales job. Because sir, in office it is quite easy to monitor the people. You can monitor every person who is working in office or working in finance department or management. But if it is very difficult for an organization to get a knowledge of the sales staff. So they make a process like that. They are able to manage the people and manage the sales also in sales staff. So I think they give incentives to salespeople, and for that, to ensure the process, so that
Right.
they can get end results. And also they can improve the basic working norms of the company also.
So Hargobind feels that it is mainly to manage people, because people who are outside in the field, they may be just freaking out and not doing their work. To motivate them, incentives are offered. Whereas people like people in operations and finance, they sit in office. You can always keep an eye on them. So Pradeep, is that right? Is that reason right?
No, this is not the right reason, because some of every person, or you can say that every employee has their defined KRA. According to that, we have decided to motivate the person or motivate the employee regarding that in terms of some reward. That may be an incentive, or that may be other kind of reward. It also depend on performance related. That person can be promoted to or shifted to any other location. That is the major difference in it. But if we say the person is only for motivational purpose in terms of reward and recognition, that are the things which we have to conclude in this reward and recognition and the incentive process.
Okay.
That's the basic thing for.
So I put this question
more
directly to Surinder ji.
moreover, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Tell me, Ankit.
Yeah, moreover, sir, if we're talking about why in sales, so as previously, sir, Krishnan, you had mentioned that sales is a one kind of process. So I am totally agree with that. And sales is a one kind of process. It's a continuous process where HO strategies are there. So to follow that, incentives and motivations. These plays very important roles, very vital roles, sir. Because if we follow the strategies, proper HO strategies, what they have made, so definitely sale will bound to come, right? So
Right.
sales is a one kind of process, and so to follow that process, this is incentive is a very vital role, sir.
Okay, so point taken. So let me now put this question a little differently to Surendrajit. So we have one view that it is for managing people who are sitting, who are working in the field. So that was one perspective. So another perspective was that it was to motivate people to get business. So Surendrajit, what is your view? Is incentive offered for these reasons, or is there a third reason behind offering incentives and commissions to salespeople?
Sir, reward, motivation, and connecting people, retaining people. These are some of the valuable point. Because of that, people get incentive. And sir, the most importantly, I strongly feel that when you have incentive at your place, it will get you out from the comfort level, and it allows you to push more and more to achieve the target, sir. Because everybody wants to earn money, sir. People work because they want to earn money. So it gets you out from the comfort level, and it allows you to push your limits and to achieve the target, sir. And sir, most importantly, sir, when you exceed your job limits, sir, when you do extra what is required to do, you get incentives, sir. And definitely, sir, incentives are the big motivation, sir, and it helps you to achieve your target, on monthly basis, sir. So this is my opinion, sir.
Okay, so can we conclude on this particular point that incentives are offered because the salespeople go through a lot of hardships in the field, which may not be so true for others, and that is why you have to constantly push yourself to achieve those numbers. Is that one of the reasons?
And
Krishnendu,
sir,
you want?
most importantly,
Yes, sir. I believe there is the most important reason. Actually, the salesperson who are bringing revenue to the company, who are working in field day by day, and they are getting the challenges, like they are working in hardship, and as you said. So I believe, sir, to motivate them, to retain them, so that they work more better. Actually, the day by day we are getting growth, sir, in company. So here we are getting growth. This year, what is the target? The next year it would not be, sir. It would be more than that. So that we can achieve, so that we can achieve that target also, sir. So we need to get self motivated, and for that self motivation, so only I believe that incentive in terms of money can only actually make the people motivated, self motivated, so that work more better and brings more revenue to the company. So I believe, sir, incentive is important, sir, for the salesperson, basically.
Great, thank you. So Surendrajit, do you call yourself a salesperson or a marketing person?
sir, I would say a mixture of both. I'm a little marketer, I'm a little salesperson, sir. I would not say completely salesperson, mixture of both, sir.
Okay, why do you say that?
Because sir, see, marketing is something first of all, if you are in marketing job, sir, there has to be a conviction, sir. Because what you're going to selling to the customer, first of all, you have to convince on that, sir. And most importantly, uh, selling is the concept, sir. There has to be a concept, there has to be idea, and there has to be a process, sir. So there has to be a conviction, sir. So when I combine both, sir, it gives me a kind of conviction, that will help me to achieve targets, and that will also help me to convince the customer about a particular product, sir. And as I mentioned earlier in my communication, sir, because you don't sell a product, sir, you sell a emotion, sir. You talk about benefits, sir. When you sell a emotion, sir, actually you are trying to connect people from benefit, right, sir? So I would say
Sure.
mixture of both, sir.
Pradeep, do you agree with this? What do you call yourself? Are you a marketing person or a salesperson?
Yeah, I'm agree with Surendra because both the perspectives we have to, or you can say both the role we have to play in our field.
What is
Because
your
if
what is your definition of marketing?
marketing is defined a market or to define something about our products, or we can say something about our that is brands which we can represent to the market or to the customer. The requirement of that customer according to our product, we can manipulate to that in a marketing person. But as a salesperson, we have to sell something which are not needed and which are actually necessary to the patient, to the customer, that have to sell. This is the basically difference in marketing and sales. Sales, you have to sell everything which you want. But in marketing, you have to create the market as per the need of the customer.
I think that's the point. You put it very nicely. So in sales, you have to push your product somehow, whereas in marketing, you are working hard to create a need in the market.
Right,
And
right,
that's
right.
the role of, I think, the marketing team, which works on branding, advertising, communication, and so many other things, marketing research. So,
Right.
Hargobind, your view on this? I hear many people when I ask them, what do you do? They say, I'm a marketing person. And finally, they use the term very interchangeably. So some places they say I'm in marketing, some places they say I'm in sales. So Hargobind,
Sir,
how do you introduce yourself?
Sir, actually, at present, I am handling a team, so my role is quite changed from a salesperson to a bit marketing person also. As a sales representative, we can say that we are working in sales, but at the level of a manager, our roles can quite slightly change towards marketing also, because we have to involve into the marketing strategies of the company. Also, we are working as a feedback mechanism for company to improve our products also. And also we have to prepare our field staff or our uh, colleagues for better sales also. So we are directly involved in sales with the help of our subordinates, and for the management we are also involved in their decision making in the marketing management, or you can say marketing of the company, sir.
So how much percentage you would say you are involved in marketing and how much percentage in sales?
So at present, I think still our most of our role, 75% role is for sales only. We are only 25% involved in marketing at my level, sir. I think so.
You okay?
Yes.
Anybody else wants to add how sales and marketing?
Sir,
Yes,
Sir, just like to add,
moreover, sir.
sorry,
Sure, please.
yes, sir. So I
sir,
would rather
this is
say,
sir.
Yeah, Krishnendu,
so
I think Krishnendu, you can go ahead. Then we can go to.
Okay, yeah.
okay, sir. Actually, I believe that sales marketing is a post process of the sales actually. So first you have to be a good salesman. You have to connect emotionally, as Surendra just said, that you have to connect emotionally to the customers. You have to make them understand about the benefit of the product. Then only you can sell the product to the customer. So it is a selling procedure. Then after that, when it gets being sold to the customer, then we start doing marketing. Marketing is differ from sales in that way only, that after selling we do marketing. Marketing's like we day by day we give some offers to the product. Actually, we bring bonus to the product. We do advertisements, and those are called marketing of that product. But first you have to sell the product. You have to be a salesman. Then you do marketing, sir. So basically, what we are doing in this profession, actually, we are actually not we are in indirect sale procedure. So we do marketing more than of sales. Actually, we have done our sales, like the products which are being established, that is sold, and now we are doing marketing for that products. So I think the marketing is the post procedure of the sale. So that I believe, sir.
Well,
You can please.
so I generally tell
Yes, sir.
people in a company, everybody is a salesperson, right from the sales rep to the HR executive to the CEO. Everyone has to first sell because the organization has to sell to survive, right? So everyone is a salesperson. So the other roles are add-ons. Yes, Surendrajit, please.
Sir, marketing is the process through which we sell products, sir. Because it is all about process, sir. In marketing, sir, you have to follow the procedures, where you have to talk about your product, the benefit and the results, sir. And then you will be able to sell the product, sir. And most importantly, you have to practice, sir. You have to practice about the product knowledge. It is very important, sir. So it's a process, sir, which helps you, to connect with your customer. And at the end of the day, sir, you get the results, sir. So marketing is a process which helps you to, achieve the target, achieve the sales, sir.
You brought one more very, very good point, Surendrajit, about practice. So practice plays a very important role in every aspect of life. So when you practice communication, when you practice cycling, when you practice driving, swimming, or even sales. So when you do it repeatedly, you start mastering it.
Right, sir.
So Hargobind, we'll move to the next question on communication skills. Because we are in sales, we always feel that we are running short of words when we talk to our prospects. And if we had spoken better, maybe he would have been convinced. After every sales meeting, there's always a feeling, especially for people who have just started off their careers in sales, that अरे मैंने ये थोड़ा ज़्यादा बोल दिया होता, or if I had explained this properly, maybe the person would have been convinced. Right. So what is your take on the importance of communication skills in sales?
Sir, communication skills, according to me are most important part in sales. But along with the communication, with good communication skills, the salesperson should has a empathy while listening to. He has to have a listening ability and to understand the situation and work according to situation. I think more than communication in my field, my sales people, I always like to develop my people on situation handling while communicating to the clients, or you can say the end customer. So no doubt communication skills are important. At least there should be a minimum level of communication skills, but situation handling and careful listening and empathizing the customer and making a customer into client, these things help in sales a lot. So if a person is having good communication skills and interpersonal skills, then he is a better person in sales. I think so.
Brilliant, brilliant point. You brought a very good point on empathy. I'm going to share one interesting video after we close this conversation today on empathy. A very beautiful, very touching video on empathy. So I'll share with all of you. You should definitely go through it. In fact, empathy and emotional quotient is a highly rated skill nowadays in the workplace, more important than even your IQ. EQ is more rated than IQ in the workplace.
Yes.
Brilliant point,
Yes.
Hargobind. I agree with you totally. Anybody else who wants to add on the importance of communication skills and what a role does communication play in your day-to-day work? So let's say if you had better skills in communication than what you have today, how would that have helped you in increasing your sales and top line? So maybe we can go to Ankit and hear his views.
Yes, sir. Communication is a very important. Communication is a very important in sales because it's a it can be in any language because the proper message should go to our customers. So communication is a very important and there should be no any limitations in like you have to follow these and that. As one of my friends says that empathy is a very important in communication. Same way many things come into the communication, like proper message should go, proper timing should go, right? So communication is a very important in sales.
So let's take this point forward. Krishnendu, how much time do you spend with the prospect? Average time spent.
Sir, prospect, pardon, sir, to the customers with whom we are meeting day.
New prospect, new customer, when you meet, what is your average time spent?
Sir, I would rather say that I spent around 3 to 4 minutes. I get a time to meet my prospects and customers on daily basis. Actually, if I add on, then if I meet 12 customers a day, then 36-minute total day. So I talk to the prospect directly, sir, in chambers.
And how
Because
many meetings are required to convert a sale?
sir, that doesn't mean it doesn't have any limit that we are meeting these 5 customers, then we have to convert those 5 customers, or like we have, if we when we meet our customers or prospect, like if we meet 12 a day, if we meet 10 a day, then we try to convert like in serial manner. Like we are visiting our first customer, then we talk with them in a different way, then we like doctors only we are meeting. So I believe, sir, Communication is very necessary.
So let's say you meet customer A. How many times do you have to meet customer A in the next 1 month or 2 months to complete that sale?
Actually, sir, it is necessary that the customer, when we are meeting a customer which we have not met before, we need around 2 to 3 meets in person, sir, with that person, so that we can convert because in our profession, sir, the time interval is very important. If you are meeting a customer in first of the month, then we have to meet that customer in 15th of the month. There should be a gap, sir. We cannot break the gap. If we break the gap, then it actually it doesn't happen. And if we meet them in regular routine basis, we give visit to them in regular manner. So I think that it helps in our sales procedure, sir. We convert the customers for any products,
That's a
brands.
point. You said you spend about 4 minutes per customer, 4 to 5 minutes per customer when you meet. And these 5 minutes are the only minutes that you have to make an impact on that prospect, right?
Impact on yes, sir.
So either you do it or you screw it up. I mean, it depends
Screw
on those 5 minutes.
Yes, sir. Those 5 minutes are very important, sir.
Uh, Sid, communication is very important. Communication does not mean that you have to speak alone. Communication means there has to be a two-way communication. If you are a good communicator, your job will be to get your customer involved in talking,
Yes,
to generate their interest.
agreed.
Sid, I like to give an example. Sid, you started the conversation today. The first time you saw my face, you asked, "Hi, Sundarit, how are you?" Right? Then you asked about my introduction. You tried to create an interest. You tried to get me in a conversation where I have started talking, sir. So communication means there has to be a two parties communication, sir. We are in a sales industry. We hardly get a second chance to speak. First 30, first 30 or 50 seconds is very important, sir. You have to keep your communication in this approach. Keep short and crispy. And your job will be to involve your customer in talking, sir. The moment your customer start talking, it means they are giving you a buying signal, which means your half job is done. Now you have to talk about the benefit of the customer, the product, and further, sir. So it is very important, sir. In my opinion, you have to get your customer involved in talking. Then the job is only done, sir. This is my opinion, sir.
Super. Anybody else wants to add on to this? Surendraji
Yeah,
brought
by
some
the
perspective. So
yeah,
any
by the communication, as Surendra said, by the two-way communication, or we can say that is it both the combination of listening and delivering something to the customer. You can say that delivering something to the next to the person next to the you. That is the combination of the both. But when you have a proper communication in terms of not only in sales, if you are communicating to a person who is not related to your field, or not related to your customer, or you can say not related to your brand, that you have to communicate in a proper way. If you are not able to describe your job, or you can describe to the things which you are going to talk about that to this person, that is not related to it. Because human tendency is that what is my benefit. If you talk about the benefit of the second person, that you are the most communicative, or you can the most effective person in his life or her life. That is the basic thing.
right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Pradeep. Anyone else? Anyone else wants to add on to this? Great. Thank you so much. We are now coming to the close of this session. I'm mindful of time. So before we close, I would like to hear one tip from all of you for aspiring sales professionals. I'm sure this video is going to be watched by many people, many youngsters wanting to make a career in sales. So any tip from experienced people like you would be great. So let's start with maybe Hargobind.
Sir, for a salesperson, if a person is aspiring to become a salesperson, I would encourage him to choose this profession, because if you want to have a enjoyable life and a motivational motivate, you have an internal motivation level, then this profession is full of opportunities, full of joys, and full of external fulfillment also. You will get achievements, you will get recognition, and you will get better pays and perks in a sales profession, sir. If you think that you can handle the stress and you want to develop yourself, the best profession is sales profession. You get a variety of experiences.
Beautifully put. Thank you so much. Regarding the perks as well as the stress, both. Ankit, you want to add?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because I want to add many things because I have started my career with a computer operator. So I can easily say the sales life is a very thrilling because sir, when I start my career with as a computer operator, there was a only time limit. So I have to spend that much time in my offices, right? So that is a very boring thing. So I personally I think that. So in sales, I get full thrilling in my life. Like I'm enjoying very well in sales because if if we can handle the stress, so we can enjoy the sales life also, sir. So
Sure. So it's very thrilling.
yes, sir.
Suited for people who love adventure.
Yes, sir. Because in office, there will be no fun. There will be only time limitations, and there will be no target oriented work. There is a autonomous work. Only one kind of work there will be. So in sales, you can use many things like you every day you can do something new to convert your doctors, to convert your customers, right? So that
Sure.
motivates me.
So you feel office work is very monotonous.
Yes.
Great. Krishnendu, your views, your tips.
Sir, I think,
For
sir,
youngsters.
yes, sir. Sir, I think, sir, the person who is a good salesman, sir, actually they need. If I talk about the tips, then important tips, it would be, sir, patience. Person is sales, sir. You need to be very patient, sir. You have to be patient in every aspect. Like when you are meeting a customer, you cannot create the miracle. You cannot create the magic in one day, sir. You have to meet the customers repeatedly in continuous manner. Then one day you will get the result from that particular for the particular product you are selling, sir. So I believe, sir, patience is very important thing which a salesman to have, sir, so that to grow, sir. So that is the important tips what I had to share actually.
Thank you. Pradeep?
Yeah, as Krishnendu said, patient is very important in this profession of sales. But also, there is one thing that keep yourself on thirst for something new. That is the basic point from me, or I can say this is the tip from my side. Don't let go anything else. Keep thirst to your focus and try something new every day and every customer meeting.
Thank you. Surendrajit?
Sir, if we have desire to learn and grow, join sale industry. If you see challenges and pressure as an opportunity, join sale industry. And if you if you want to look different from others, join sale industry. Because sales industry is the industry which makes you perfect, sir, which makes you talkative, sir. Which creates an opportunity where you can enhance your communication skill, you can enhance your learning ability, and it keeps you different from the crowd, sir. So I would say sales is one of the best industry to learn and grow, sir.
Thank you, Surendrajit. So interesting point. If you want to become talkative, if you love adventure and all these things, join sales.
Challenges,
Pressure. Awesome. So interesting perspectives. So before we end this session, I would like to quickly summarize what we discussed today for the benefit of the audience and also people who would watch it later on. So we discussed about how emotions play an important role in sales and how that is an art. And there is a step-by-step process which makes sales a science. So that was one. There was an interesting comparison between Salman Khan and Amir Khan, which is a very good takeaway for me today. We also discussed about the first 15 seconds being the most important part to get the prospect's attention. And if you are successful in doing that, then the prospect would listen to you for the next 4 to 5 minutes. And these 4 to 5 minutes are super critical for you to get your business from that particular customer or doctor. So communication skills are very important so that you can make that impact in that particular 4 minutes or 5 minutes. Empathy is the buzzword. So emotional quotient and empathy are very much required in sales. It is not just about pushing your product without having any empathy. So that doesn't work. Some of those tips that you left for youngsters is that if you want to get into sales, you should be very patient. You will get a lot of perks, bonuses, incentives, loads of money, but you should be willing to take all the stress in return. So it's a trade-off. If you can take all the stress, you get all the money, right? And yes, you will end up becoming more talkative because if you meet 20 customers in a day, obviously you'll become talkative. So by default, right? And yeah, I think these are the key points that we spoke about from different parts of India that makes this discussion even more wonderful. So I thank all of you for participating in today's session. I thank my colleague Mradu for organizing this beautiful session and nominating the right people from across zones. And I also thank all the audience who joined us today for listening patiently to our discussion. And I hope for many more people take up sales as a career and do well. Thank you so much and have a fantastic day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.